Does Lin's success mean that we can't have the openly accept racism toward Asians? I got news for you, Jack. If you think that Jeremy Lin is like going to change that, you're out of your mind. You're so long gone. No, it ain't gonna change. Well, if it'll change, it'll be some gradual progress, but it's not gonna be because of this. Like, why would this do that? Like I said on TV today, I mean, we went through Yao Ming. Let's not forget that. It's not as if this is the first time anybody's seen a Chinese person play basketball. Now, is it the first time anybody's seen a Chinese person play point guard? That's an entirely different argument. I was talking to Doug Gottlieb when I was in Bristol, and something he said that I thought was interesting. He's from somewhere in Orange County, I think, in California. He's like, look, I played high-level basketball from whenever he picked, whatever year he pointed out. And he's like, he really didn't remember playing against very many Asians. I think he might have even said he didn't remember playing against any. Right? Like he just, and he was talking about, hey, we played against teams from Westminster. I've been to Westminster. I believe the sign when you get off the exit says Little Saigon, right? Is he didn't play? He didn't. So if you want to act like you've never seen a Chinese point guard before, I'm actually willing to cut you some slack because I'm not sure that I have either. Right? However, this isn't the first time that someone Asian has been successful in a public sphere. And we heard all the crazy stuff with Yao Ming, with Shaq with the Chim Chang Choing or whatever that was. Hey, man, bottom line. People absolutely do not fear repercussion from insulting Asians. I mean, we've always had groups that were like this, right? For a very long time, people did not fear repercussions for the things they say about women. And those things still continue in large measure, right? Homosexuals are perhaps the greatest example of this, where people just don't care. They just say anything in any sort of place. That's only really, whittled down over like years that I can remember. No, I say go stop it. It's not. Somebody got caught on TV, and guy got caught on the website, and those sorts of things are going to be dealt with. And on that level, maybe. But let me tell you, a little time will pass. People will forget about this, and somebody else will try to get cute. Right? So perhaps it won't be as absurd and over the top as it's been with like the fortune cookies and all of that stuff. I think it's safe to say that we're kind of probably toward the end of that, right? However, the open racism toward Asians greatly preceded Jeremy Lin, and it will persist long after, unless people really, really decide that they're not feeling it. But what you got to understand is, it's not that the person that would call someone a chink, like, it's not that that person doesn't know it's wrong in most cases. That person typically doesn't care. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we operate under the premise that it's like, oh man, if we could just somehow educate these people about the error of their ways and their insensitivities, all of a sudden everything will be fixed. That's not what it is, man. They don't care in most cases. See, talking about how people don't know is an excuse that lets people slide, right? Hold on one second. Yeah. No. See, when people start talking that noise about, oh, I didn't know, or I didn't realize, or I didn't think twice about it, at some point people got to start asking the question in return. Well, sir, are you stupid? Like, are you an idiot? I didn't realize that calling Asians chinks was a problem. Ain't nobody called them chinks to their faces, really, right? Like, you remember that when this is another example about how just people don't care. When the Spanish basketball team was going to the Olympics in 2008, the Olympics in Beijing, and Pau Gasol and all those cats took the pictures like this. You remember that? And they claimed that they were trying to honor the Chinese people. And I was like, hey, that sounds great. You're honoring the Chinese. Why don't y'all take y'all's happy asses down there and walk around the track at the opening ceremonies and go like this? Why don't y'all do that? Now, if I got any indication from the game film that I saw from that Georgetown game when they went over there and played in China, you remember that? I don't think it would be the best idea to be walking around like this. And I certainly wouldn't be doing no Shaquille O'Neal, Chim Chang Choing nonsense like that. It would not shock me at all if it got rowdy. Rowdy. And that's why people don't do those things in folks' faces. But they just do it. They just do it. The only conclusion I've been able to reach as to why this is so much more prevalent, I feel like, with Asians than anybody else, and this even falls flat, is that pretty much everybody else in the world, you can tie back in one way or another to some group of Europeans, right? Like, you can look at India, for example. Even if you go there, there's a British colony. You got Africans. So, that's all colonized. The Middle East, by and large, was colonized, at least as far as I understand, right? You don't really say that about China. There wasn't no colonizing going on in China. Wasn't happening. Like, I think to most people, Asians just seem so totally different in religion and everything else that it's like it's not even in their world. I don't know. I really have no idea. Or maybe it's I got nothing. All I'm telling you is Jeremy Lin is not about to change the world because Tiger Woods sure as hell didn't. These people going to be on this nonsense for a while now. That's it. That's it. And if they decide that they personally want to, take a look at themselves and make a change, then maybe they will, right? It just ain't going to be because of this. I wish it would be. Who cares why, right? But it's just not happening.